Helga Hufflepuff. Helga Hufflepuff is one of the 4 founders of Hogwarts and the namesake of the house that values hard work, loyalty, and fair-mindedness. Her legacy is anchored in a known founder's relic, Hufflepuff's cup. That cup surfaces centuries later in Albus Dumbledore's recovered memory of Hepzibah Smith, a wealthy collector who proudly presents Helga Hufflepuff's cup to a young Tom Riddle while he is employed at Borgin and Burke's. Riddle subsequently murders Hepzibah, steals the cup, and later converts it into a Horcrux, binding a fragment of his soul to Helga's heirloom. The cup is then concealed in the Lestrange family vault at Gringotts, protected by goblin security measures including the replication and burning hex Gemino and flagranti curses that punish intruders who touch stored items. During the final year of the war, Harry, Ron, and Hermione break into Gringotts using Polyjuice Potion, Imperius, and a dragon-assisted escape to retrieve the Horcrux cup. The artifact is ultimately destroyed in the Chamber of Secrets when Hermione Granger stabs it with a basilisk fang, whose venom irreparably damages Horcruxes. Helga's enduring importance, therefore, is twofold. She co-founded the school's culture around industry and inclusion, and her personal relic became a pivotal battleground in the systematic unmaking of Voldemort's immortality. Newt Scamander. Newton Artemis Fido Scamander is one of Hufflepuff's most renowned figures, best known as the author of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, a textbook that becomes standard at Hogwarts for decades. His expertise in magizoology, the study of magical creatures, positioned him as one of the wizarding world's foremost authorities on magical wildlife. While a student at Hogwarts, Newt was sorted into Hufflepuff, but later expelled after taking responsibility for an incident involving a magical creature, though Albus Dumbledore, his defense against the dark arts professor, argued in his favor. Newt's expulsion was never formalized, and he went on to work for the Ministry of Magic in the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. Newt's abilities extended beyond academics. He was a skilled duelist and highly resourceful wizard, evident during his confrontations with Gellert Grindelwald and his followers. His enchanted suitcase containing magically expanded habitats for creatures became essential in both research and battle. He was instrumental in exposing Grindelwald's manipulations in the 1920s, surviving direct encounters with him and playing a crucial role in turning public opinion against the Dark Wizard. His contributions earned him the Order of Merlin, 2nd class, and cemented his legacy as both a Hufflepuff hero and a key figure in the fight against dark magic. Pomona Sprout. Professor Pomona Sprout served as both head of Hufflepuff House and long-standing herbology professor at Hogwarts. Her expertise in magical plants was unmatched, and she frequently leveraged that knowledge in ways that directly impacted the safety and survival of others. During the Chamber of Secrets, Sprout cultivated mandrakes, a highly dangerous yet life-saving plant whose restorative powers were used to cure those petrified by the basilisk. This required both careful planning and advanced herbological knowledge, as mandrakes progress through hazardous growth stages before they can be harvested safely for medicinal use. Sprout's skill was equally evident in combat situations. At the Battle of Hogwarts, she played a decisive role by using weaponized flora against the invading Death Eaters. Plants such as the venomous Tentacula and other magically aggressive species were deployed throughout the castle, providing a defensive line that inflicted serious disruption on Voldemort's forces. Beyond her battlefield contributions, Sprout embodied the values of her house, leading with fairness and loyalty, while producing generations of witches and wizards trained in practical, life-sustaining magic. Her mastery of herbology, combined with her tactical application of plants in war, marks her as one of the most formidable Hufflepuffs in Hogwarts' history. Nymphadora Tonks. Nymphadora Tonks, usually referred to simply as Tonks, was a Metamorphmagus, a witch born with the rare ability to change her physical appearance at will. This skill was innate rather than learned, making her especially versatile in stealth and disguise. After graduating from Hogwarts as a Hufflepuff, she trained as an Auror under Alastor Moody, passing some of the most rigorous examinations in magical law enforcement. Her career quickly established her as a capable duelist and a valuable member of the Order of the Phoenix during the Second Wizarding War. Tonks distinguished herself in both offensive and defensive magic. She fought in several major battles, including the Battle of the Department of Mysteries, where she dueled against Death Eaters and was seriously injured. Despite setbacks, she returned to active duty, showing resilience and loyalty to the Order. Her role in the Battle of the Astronomy Tower and later the Battle of the Seven Potters further highlighted her courage, as she fought Voldemort's followers directly while protecting key figures. At the Battle of Hogwarts, Tonks made the ultimate sacrifice, rushing to join the fight after entrusting her infant son, Teddy Lupin, to her mother. She fought alongside her husband, Remus Lupin, but both were killed in action, leaving behind a legacy of bravery, loyalty, and devotion. Tonks' power lay not only in her unique abilities as a Metamorphmagus, but in her unwavering determination to defend the wizarding world, regardless of personal cost. Cedric Diggory. Cedric Diggory stands out as one of Hufflepuff's most gifted modern students. Sorted into the house in the late 1980s, he quickly built a reputation for fairness, modesty, and exceptional magical skill. By his 5th year, he was both a prefect and captain of the Hufflepuff Quidditch team, admired across the school for his leadership and sportsmanship. Cedric's magical ability extended well beyond the classroom. During the Triwizard tournament, he repeatedly demonstrated competence across multiple disciplines. He mastered advanced transfiguration, turning a rock into a dog during the first task, and showed skill in charm work, successfully using the bubblehead charm underwater during the second task. What distinguished Cedric, however, was not just raw talent, but his character. In a school climate where rivalry often bred arrogance, Cedric maintained fairness and humility. When Dementors attacked Harry during a Quidditch match and Hufflepuff won as a result, Cedric was the first to suggest a rematch, showing his commitment to integrity. In the Triwizard tournament's final task, his decision to share the victory with Harry underlined his loyalty and sense of justice. Tragically, this act of fairness led both boys into Voldemort's trap. Cedric was murdered by Peter Pettigrew on Voldemort's orders, remembered by Dumbledore as kind and honest and brave and true to the very end. His life was cut short, but his skill and moral strength cement his place among the most powerful Hufflepuffs. Theseus Scamander. Theseus Scamander, elder brother of Newt Scamander, was a celebrated war hero and one of the most accomplished Aurors of his time. During the First World War, Theseus earned distinction for his bravery and tactical skill, which led the wizarding world to regard him as a war hero. His reputation for discipline and command made him a natural leader within the British Ministry of Magic. Rising through the ranks, he eventually became head of the Auror office, a position that placed him at the forefront of magical law enforcement. Theseus's magical strength lay in his combat ability and leadership under pressure. As an Auror, he was trained in high-level defensive and offensive magic, dueling techniques, and investigative work. His role in pursuing Grindelwald's forces placed him directly against some of the most dangerous dark wizards of the era. Although Newt was often portrayed as the unconventional thinker, Theseus represented structured power, relying on rigorous training, discipline, and ministry authority. Despite the brothers' contrasting personalities, Theseus demonstrated loyalty and courage throughout his career. His position as a leading Auror during one of the wizarding world's most volatile periods highlights his importance, and though he is not as widely remembered as his brother, his legacy as a powerful and reliable Hufflepuff remains secure. Hannah Abbott. Hannah Abbott was a Hufflepuff student in the same year as Harry Potter and an early member of Dumbledore's army. Though she was not a central figure in the narrative, her role in resisting Voldemort's influence at Hogwarts underscores her courage and competence. As a DA member, she trained under Harry in advanced defensive spells that were typically beyond the standard curriculum, giving her practical combat experience long before the Battle of Hogwarts. Her loyalty to the Resistance became even more important during the Second Wizarding War. After leaving school, Hannah went on to become the landlady of the Leaky Cauldron, one of the wizarding world's most iconic establishments, and later trained as a healer. This combination of combat readiness, healing knowledge, and business stewardship reflected a balance of strength and nurturing, two qualities often tied to Hufflepuff values. In some expanded canon, she is also noted as a candidate for the position of matron at Hogwarts, showing the trust the wizarding community placed in her. While Hannah may not have reached the legendary status of Cedric or Tonks, her steady contributions to the Resistance, combined with her later achievements, mark her as an honorable and capable Hufflepuff witch. Ernie Macmillan. Ernie Macmillan was a prominent Hufflepuff student known for his strong sense of loyalty and his unwavering belief in standing up for what was right. Though at times pompous in his early years, Ernie matured into one of the most steadfast members of Dumbledore's army. He trained rigorously under Harry Potter, mastering defensive spells such as the Shield Charm and the Stunning Spell, and he fought alongside his peers during the resistance against Dolores Umbridge's regime at Hogwarts. Ernie's magical ability was paired with his determination to uphold fairness and integrity. He often took a leadership role among his classmates, voicing support for Harry when many doubted him, and rallying his fellow Hufflepuffs to prepare for the fight against Voldemort's forces. His bravery reached its peak during the Battle of Hogwarts, where he actively fought Death Eaters and defended the castle alongside other DA members. Though he never achieved fame outside of Hogwarts, Ernie embodied the Hufflepuff virtues of hard work, loyalty, and courage in the face of danger. His role as a dependable ally during the war solidified his place as one of the most honorable Hufflepuffs of his generation. Susan Bones. Susan Bones was a Hufflepuff student and a member of Dumbledore's army, but her significance in the wider wizarding world came from her family background. She belonged to the Bones family, one of the oldest and most respected wizarding families who were systematically targeted by Voldemort and his Death Eaters. Nearly all of her close relatives were murdered, including her aunt Amelia Bones, who served as head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement and was noted by Voldemort himself as one of the most powerful witches of her time. Despite this heavy personal loss, Susan remained committed to the Resistance. At Hogwarts, she took part in Harry's secret training sessions, learning advanced defensive magic well beyond her year level. Her persistence in joining the DA highlights her resilience and determination, even after witnessing firsthand the cost of defying Voldemort. During the Battle of Hogwarts, she fought alongside other members of the DA, demonstrating bravery and solidarity with her peers. Susan's strength was not in individual feats of great power, but in her perseverance and her ability to endure loss while continuing to fight. She represents the quiet but resilient side of Hufflepuff, where strength lies as much in endurance as in spell work. Amos Diggory. Amos Diggory, father of Cedric Diggory, was a well-respected ministry official who worked in the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures. His career placed him in close contact with complex cases involving magical beasts, an area of magic requiring both detailed knowledge and strong practical skill. Although he is not portrayed as a powerful duelist like some of the other Hufflepuffs, Amos's authority in the ministry and his role in high-level discussions highlight his competence and influence in the wizarding world. Amos is best remembered for his pride in his son Cedric's accomplishments, particularly Cedric's selection as Hogwarts champion in the Triwizard tournament. However, his role in the story also reflects Hufflepuff qualities of fairness and loyalty. Following Cedric's tragic death, Amos was deeply affected. But his grief underscores the personal cost of Voldemort's return and the sacrifices made by even ordinary yet capable witches and wizards. While Amos does not stand among the great Hufflepuff heroes in terms of magical combat or legendary achievements, his work within the ministry and his representation of the steady, loyal qualities of his house make him a fitting, if quieter, honorable mention. Justin Finch Fletchley. Justin Finch Fletchley was a Muggle-born student sorted into Hufflepuff in Harry's year. His magical ability was solid, if not exceptional, but his presence in the story highlights both the challenges and resilience of Muggle-born wizards during Voldemort's resurgence. Early in his Hogwarts career, Justin fell victim to the Basilisk during the Chamber of Secrets crisis, becoming one of the students petrified by the monster. This event underscored the vulnerability of Muggle-borns, yet also tied him to the larger struggle against the heirs of Slytherin and their ideals. Later, Justin became a dedicated member of Dumbledore's army. He trained under Harry's guidance, practicing defensive spells and combat magic at a level far beyond what was taught in class. His decision to join and fight openly despite the risks to Muggle-borns demonstrates courage and loyalty, key Hufflepuff traits. By the Battle of Hogwarts, Justin was one of the many students who stood his ground against Death Eaters, helping defend the school in its darkest hour. Though he never achieved fame like Cedric or Tonks, Justin represents the everyday bravery of Hufflepuffs, who fought not for glory but simply because it was the right thing to do. Hufflepuff produced some of the most loyal, resilient, and quietly powerful witches and wizards in the series, but Hogwarts was only one school among many. To see how other magical institutions shaped history, check out our deep dive into every school of magic in Harry Potter Explained in detail.